This week we will pack the rent. My name's Ava Inesta and I'm here with Coach Mora. Coach, week 2 against Merrimack in the home opener. I'm sure you have a lot of excitement, maybe a little bit of nerves to get back in front of the fans, but how are you looking to bounce back this week?
Well, we just have to, focus on having a great week of preparation and doing all we can do to prepare for the looks that we're going to see from Merrimack and perfect, our game plan and go out and execute to the best of our ability, play after play after play, hopefully build some momentum. And, we look forward to going out and competing in front of our fans and give them something to be excited about.
One positive takeaway from last week, I feel like, was TJ Sheffield and Skylar Bell. How do you expect the wide receiver group to develop as the weeks go by, and how high are their ceilings?
I think their ceiling is very high. I think that you mentioned those two, and then there's Azariah and Shamar Porter and Josiah and Brock Montgomery and of course, Brett Buckman. I think it's a really deep group. And I think that they're going to do some really good things. It's nice to have a group of veterans and guys that are mature and know how to compete and can go get open and make tough catches, as we saw Skylar do, and guys that know how to find the end zone like we saw TJ do. So I feel good about that group, and I think they're just going to keep getting better and better and better.
Let's talk a little bit about Merrimack. Last week they were on the road against Air Force. They fell 21-6. What is your approach against the Warriors this week?
Well, I think it's, we have to prepare for everything that they do, all the looks that they've seen. I think they're a very tough, physical, gritty, get after it, don't back down, get in your face type of team. I think that's the personality of their head coach. I know they play that way on defense. I think on offense, they've got good skill position players. They fight you up front. They like to run the ball. But what we have to do is go out there on Saturday, and we have to take all the information that we've gathered during the week about them, and then we have to go ahead and play to our standard. Like we have to execute. We have to play great. We have to take care of the football. We have to make tackles. We have to get off the field on third down. We have to stay on the field on third down. We got to finish in the end zone. We keep them out of the end zone. And that's always our approach, regardless of who we're playing or where we're playing or when we're playing. That's got to be our approach, and it is our approach.
A few weeks ago we talked about how deep your quarterback group is, and unfortunately you had to touch into that a little bit last week after Nick went down. Joe came in, got us a touchdown. What does that tell you about this group of players and how quickly they're able to adjust to unpredicted situations like that?
Well, I think we expect it. Joe's a pro. Joe's been around a long time. Joe's had success. Joe knew that he needed to be prepared. He was basically in the same situation last year as the starter. He got hurt in the start of that second game of the year, and Taquan had to come in, and so when we named Nick the starter, Joe said, "I'll be ready if I'm needed," and he was needed and he was ready. So, I think that carries through not just with Joe, but with Tucker and with Cole as well. And that's a good feeling to have, guys that are going to do the work to be prepared and be ready to go if they're called upon.
Lastly, first game back at the Rent. Is there anything you want the fans to know before the home opener on Saturday?
I hope you can come out and enjoy the experience, and I hope that you see a team on the field that you're proud of and you see potential in and you continue to support.
Well, the Huskies will face off against Merrimack this Saturday, September 7th. Kickoff is at noon. Coach, thank you so much, and we'll make sure to pack the Rent.